or Madonna on TikTok?
Oh, goodness.
Take a look at this shit.
That's her.
No, watch this.
That's Madonna there.
Madonna, back up, Madonna.
Good. No.
Nobody has explained to her the algorithm of how TikTok works.
Yeah, she thinks it's
yeah,
based on closeness.
I don't know what that was.
Yeah, it's not. All right, well.
A, what she'd done to herself, but B, the constant attention seeking. She was making horrible sexual signs with Sam Smith. She was doing all sorts of stuff as normal, normal attention seeking. I think she is an absolute joke now, and I say that as somebody who was a massive fan. I literally went to see her on a holiday tour, one of the greatest pop stars.
What did Madonna do? Madonna, I just looked, I said the first time, I said, look, you gotta adjust. What's going on? You can't be like a virgin at 63. Right. Fuck it, this is the way. Look, you can't do that.
She's starting to look like Pennywise. And by the way, you have a right, sister, to look like Pennywise.
In a recent revelation, Madonna unveiled a new look that has ignited a flurry of jokes and mockery within popular culture. This transformed appearance has become the focal point of jests, with notable figures like Piers Morgan and various celebrities joining in the chorus of humor on their live shows. In response, Madonna has chosen to directly address those who have poked fun at her new image, leading to a confrontational stance against the tide of mockery.
The act doesn't play when you're in your mid-60s.
Would you have been outraged if Mick Jagger was doing that?
I have
in the same way? I mean,
he doesn't do what she does.
Yeah.
While Piers Morgan is known for his outspoken remarks about various individuals, this time his comments have garnered widespread negative attention and have led to a direct clash with Madonna, who appears to be a long-standing opponent. Morgan's recent remarks targeted Madonna's appearance during the Grammy Awards week, taking a derogatory tone by likening her looks to a Halloween costume and making distasteful observations. This instance isn't the first of its kind, as last year, he criticized Madonna's dominatrix-style outfit at the VMAs, even going so far as to claim that her purse required chainsaws to be opened due to her substantial wealth.
I have a view that Madonna is now become the most grotesque train wreck embarrassment in the history of world entertainment.
Although it might seem that their conflict is a recent development, the roots of their feud extend back decades, with an unexpected beginning centered around a simple bread roll.
All you troublemakers out there, you need to know that your fearlessness...
Their feud traces its origins back to the 1990s, but it reached a boiling point in 2001 during celebrity chef Marco Pierre White's 40th birthday celebration, attended by both of them. At the event, Madonna, accompanied by her then-husband Guy Ritchie, reportedly took offense to the comedic routine of late comic Bernard Manning. This incident led Piers to escalate the situation, culminating in him throwing a bread roll at Madonna. During an interview, Morgan told a magazine, "Madonna is pretty awful. She never forgave me for throwing a bread roll at her at Marco Pierre White's birthday. She was just being really obnoxious, not just to me, but generally. There was only 40 of us at this dinner party, and she got annoyed because Bernard Manning started being offensive, and that wound her up. She was with Guy Ritchie at the time, and he'd been laughing his head off. I just picked up a bread roll and chucked it at her." The history between Piers and Madonna stretches back quite a while, and their relationship has never been harmonious over those many years. Prior to Piers taking on the hosting role for Piers Morgan Tonight in January 2011, he had publicly labeled Madonna as a source of irritation in his life for 2 decades. He maintained that the only way he would consider having her as a guest on his show was if she openly apologized to him on live CNN. While he chose not to divulge the specifics of his grievances, he hinted at a series of incidents that had transpired between them. When questioned about what had transpired, he mentioned that a few things have gone down between Madonna and himself, suggesting a lingering sense of unresolved tension.
Well, I don't mind
in your 60s.
Piers asserted that he and Madonna had never engaged in a conversation about the bread roll incident, further alluding to another episode involving a pub managed by his brother Rupert, which was owned by Madonna's former husband, Guy Ritchie. Additionally, Piers stated that he believed Madonna's team had deliberately undermined his efforts.
But then that was about 40 years ago, and neither of us have aged particularly well. I would argue I've aged slightly better than Madonna.
In 2016, Piers was deeply displeased by Madonna's appearance in a carpool karaoke segment on James Corden's The Late Late Show. He particularly took offense to a clip where she engaged in twerking and disclosed an anecdote about having kissed Michael Jackson. Then, in May 2019, when Madonna was seen in a daring outfit, he publicly criticized her as shameless and labeled her an attention seeker. He referred to her decision to don an all-black ensemble that covered her from head to toe as incognito and accused her of disrespecting Muslims, expressing his views through his Mail Online column. An angry Piers said she knew exactly what she was doing because it's the same thing she's been doing for 40 years, shameless attention-seeking. Only this time, when I stopped laughing at the headlines, I suddenly realized that her latest publicity-grabbing move wasn't actually very funny at all. It was actually grotesquely offensive. Despite Piers frequently criticizing Madonna, his esteem for her becomes evident in his response to a critic. In August 2020, a critic stated that they had never followed Piers, but distinguished between thinking something is over and having it under control. In response, Piers pointed out that he boasts 3 times as many followers as Madonna. The following month, following Madonna's announcement of her intention to prioritize her music, Piers resurrected his ongoing feud with her. He characterized her as pathetic and embarrassing, while also taking a dig at her association with Williams.
Madonna taken with a long lens camera by a press photographer that would distort anyone's face. Once again, I'm caught in the glare of ageism and misogyny.
Piers acknowledged that during the time when Madonna released Holiday, she was undoubtedly the premier pop star globally. However, in the present day, he expressed a sense of disappointment when observing her. According to him, the general sentiment is that Madonna's current status is perceived as pathetic. He alluded to the upcoming biopic and suggested that this perception has become more widespread. Piers also commented that Madonna's approach to aging appears to lack grace, as she seemingly attempts to mirror the age of her boyfriends. This focus on Madonna isn't limited to the past, as he also critiqued her when she unveiled her Celebration World Tour, describing her announcement as indicative of being a hot mess.
To do a world tour and play your greatest hits.
4 decades?
Yeah.
40 years?
Yes.
Isn't all those songs?
Piers wrote on Twitter, "I think Madonna's become the biggest cringe-making fiasco in world entertainment. We'll debate that tonight." During his television talk show, Piers didn't hold back his opinions about Madonna, asserting that she should step aside from the limelight. He criticized her attempts to portray herself as a even as she's in her 60s, suggesting that she's pushing boundaries beyond what's appropriate. In an episode, he showcased a sequence of explicit photos shared by Madonna on social media, including one where she was captured lying beneath a bed, revealing her bare backside. Following this, Piers voiced his belief that Madonna had reached a low point in her career. He went on to propose that she should opt for her arena performances while seated in a rocking chair, hinting at his sentiment that her time in the spotlight has passed.
Acknowledging my ability to continue my career for 34 years in the face of blatant misogyny, constant bullying.
In light of Piers' actions, he has encountered a significant wave of backlash, with certain individuals in various circles expressing misogynistic and excessively harsh comments. In some instances, his behavior has led to accusations of being both tragic and fixated on his actions towards Madonna. One of the netizen wrote, "Appreciate Piers for speaking on behalf of rest of the world that's not delusional. Also can't believe people took kids to this madness." Another added, "I'm a woman and agree wholeheartedly with Piers. Having such terrible facial surgery is quite frankly disgusting, but for some incredibly strange reason seems very popular in the States. I know loads of women that agree with me, and we are allowed to have an opinion. Growing old gracefully with class is so much more sexy." This current wave of backlash isn't a response to his past actions, but rather stems from his recent comment regarding Madonna's appearance at the Grammy Awards. Madonna opted for a visibly youthful look during the awards ceremony, with plumper lips and smooth, wrinkle-free skin. In his characteristic, audacious style, Piers uploaded a close-up photo of Madonna, accompanied by the caption, "I thought Halloween was in October."
There were very few people I had to clap back at because life was simpler then. When I first moved to New York,
During a confrontation with comedian James Barr on his Talk TV show, Piers boldly asserted that Madonna had undergone facial surgery. He also addressed the fact that he often faces criticism from Madonna's fans, including fat-shaming remarks. Even among Piers' own supporters, there's a sense that he might be taking things too far, especially considering Madonna's consistent lack of response throughout this one-sided feud. Nevertheless, Madonna indirectly responded by sharing images and clips featuring herself alongside stars like Sam Smith, Kim Petras, and Cardi B. This action was interpreted as a defiant response to her detractors.
All these unexpected events not only helped me become the daring woman that stands before you.
Not only Piers Morgan has mocked her, but one of the greatest comedians, Kevin Hart, also made jokes about her. TikTok may not resonate with everyone, and Madonna seems to be unaware of that fact. Her participation in the trend has invited numerous jests from various quarters, including popular comedians and celebrities who are now also taking aim at her. The reception of her content remains uncertain, leaving us uncertain about its impact. Recently, comedian Kevin Hart poked fun at the Queen of Pop, and the aftermath isn't favorable for him. In his attempt at humor, he made a joke connecting Madonna's age and TikTok, a combination that didn't resonate well with the audience.
It's like our old jokes on Twitter or Madonna on TikTok.
Oh, goodness.
However, her status as the Queen of Pop remains intact, and she commands a great deal of respect from the public. Yet there's a growing sentiment that she might be pushing the boundaries a bit too much this time. To truly understand the context of what Kevin did to Madonna, it's important to trace back to how it all began. Madonna's decision to join TikTok hasn't been without criticism, considering the app's association with trendy content and a predominantly young audience. Her presence became a talking point, initially perceived as amusing and lighthearted. However, the situation took a different turn, with some of her videos raising concerns about her judgment. One internet user wrote, "It's sad to see Madonna like this, but she has never cared what anyone thought about her style or behavior. The truth is that she captured the scene and everyone adored her in the 80s. Never expected her to turn out like this wreck, while Cher and Tina Turner are always endearing and admired." Another added, "She has really changed her look. Completely. If I passed her on the street, I'd never know it was her. She can go ahead and lose the sideshow she takes with her everywhere. Trust, she won't be hassled in public because no one will recognize her." Watching Madonna's TikTok videos, which range from dancing shirtless to sipping from doggy bowls, has left us genuinely worried about her well-being. The apparent desperation for attention raises questions about the underlying reasons. Is it a response to the overshadowing of new artists, making her feel suddenly irrelevant? Or is there something more distressing at play? Both old and new fans are left puzzled, wondering if something might be amiss, with speculations of her being under the influence of something. The emotions stirred by these videos are a mix of cringe and genuine concern. It's unsettling to witness a musical icon with such a rich legacy still seemingly yearning for recognition.
That has influenced every decision that I've made, and sort of left me with a feeling.
Clicking on one of Madonna's videos on TikTok brings an unexpected experience. What unfolds in most of them is undeniably unsettling, with her behavior appearing to become progressively more unhinged. The singer has developed a penchant for sharing videos where her face is placed uncomfortably close to the camera, a move that elicits a range of responses from her followers. Observations about her appearance in these videos are generating chatter among her fan base. There's a sense that there might be a lot happening behind the scenes, leading to speculation that she could have undergone cosmetic procedures. It's worth noting that this isn't inherently negative. However, the transparency of these changes is what garners attention. She once told a magazine, "If you diva expletives want to keep complaining about it, then don't come to my show. I'm not back there eating chocolate and filing my nails and getting my extensions done, all right?" A common sight in most of her videos features Madonna with bleached eyebrows, her vibrant orange locks fashioned into 4 braids. Over the past year, her active presence on social media has stirred various reactions due to her distinct outfit selections and startling revelations. Amidst all this, a prevailing question emerges: has her reign as the Queen of Pop come to an end? The entertainment world appears to be finding amusement at her expense, and our sentiments lean towards empathy. While her erratic behavior might have contributed to her popularity in the past, it's becoming increasingly clear that it no longer aligns with her current standing.
I don't understand what that was.
Well, nobody does. To be honest with you, if I can get that part of my life back, I'd do anything to have it.
However, her fans have been very supportive. One of them said, "I loved her my whole life, and I always knew that she would fall hard as she got older. Hopefully, it's just a phase that will pass. Grow old gracefully, girl." Another said, "Madonna is not the bitch that some people think. She has a big heart, and she is a human being. My father passed away. Yes, it felt painful, but if my mother passed away, I do not know what I would do. I love my mother so much." Comedian Kevin Hart, known for his candid opinions, voiced his perspective on a different note. Collaborating with Kenan Thompson, they delved into the major headlines of 2022 in their skit, aptly named Recap That Year Up. The segment was undeniably comical, offering their insights on various controversial events, including Southwest Airlines' distribution of ukuleles to their flyers, and of course, Madonna's cringeworthy TikToks. Initially, Kevin touched on the idea that the pandemic's lasting impact seems undeniable. Drawing a parallel, he humorously likened it to Madonna's presence on TikTok, suggesting that her stint on the platform feels like it has been ongoing forever.
Make it look like I took her out. I didn't. I had to come here anyway. She doesn't know that.
It's a familiar scenario. The cringier the video, the longer it seems to linger in our minds, demanding an extra share of brain cells to process. It's a memory that becomes etched into our consciousness. According to Kevin, watching Madonna's videos constitutes a collection of moments one wishes they could erase. It's a regrettable investment of time, and he expresses a desire to reclaim that portion of his life. Amidst their compliments on her appearance, they humorously suggest that perhaps no one has taken the time to explain how TikTok operates to Madonna. This assumption arises from her habit of recording videos in an extremely close-up fashion, to the extent that every pore becomes visible.
Take a look at this shit.
That's her.
No, watch this.
That's Madonna there.
Madonna, back the up, Madonna.
Good. No.
What you doing? What is she doing?
Perhaps Madonna had difficulty seeing the phone, or maybe that's simply her aesthetic choice. Regardless of the reason, her approach is leaving a disconcerting impression on everyone. Viewers seem to align with Kevin Hart's sentiments, even if his remarks could be considered somewhat controversial. Despite its subtlety, his statement essentially constitutes an attack and a clear instance of mockery. Given Madonna's formidable nature, a reaction on her part might be anticipated. That's it for today, folks. Until next time, goodbye.